Hello there. Thanks for joining me. It's December 12th, 2015. 1 year ago today, on this exact date, I uploaded my very first video to YouTube. It was a video on Arkanoid. Now, Arkanoid is a game that is very dear to my heart. I used to play it on the Amiga. I used to watch my sister play it on the Amiga. I used to watch my dad play it on the Amiga. That was one of the first memories I have of the Amiga. Besides playing little children's games, it was watching my sister play Arknaoid. And yeah, it was a blast. Great graphics, great sound, and yeah, I never saw the arcade game in my life, but I loved the Amiga version, which is damn near perfect to the arcade. But it does play without a fucking mouse. And it's meant to be played with a paddle, really. I first uploaded that video to Facebook for my friends to see, and if you check it out, go ahead and check it out. Why don't you? See where it all started. Yeah, you'll find that I had a completely kind of different voice, because it wasn't meant. Well, it's not meant for you people. No. It was meant for my friends. I just thought it was funny. I just happened to notice this thing in the DOS version of Arkanoid, and I have like all the versions of Arkanoid for every system. Every system that I have that made Arkanoid, I do have Arkanoid for. But yeah, in the DOS version of Arkanoid, it had this very funny, this little thing that I happened to notice because I left it running or whatever, and I went through the demos. And one of the demos, it was just like, it's just terrible programming. I just laughed at it, and then I showed the Amiga version, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, DOS. I have a very strong love-hate relationship with DOS. So I made this stupid video because I thought it was funny, and I posted it to Facebook, got some responses, and I decided, you know what, this is going to be the video I upload to YouTube. And it was not a review at all. It was not a review, it was just a funny look at it. And then I released some other. I released a Super 8 film, and then I did a review on Discovery for the Amiga. Which, I don't know, I kind of feel like this coming review here is going to be good for both of them. Because Discovery was set in space, and so was Arkanoid. And Discovery was my first review, which came out, maybe a week later after this. And I really love Discovery. I'll start here with Arkanoid, and I thought about doing the Amiga version of Arkanoid for today, but decided against it because actually the Amiga version is not my favorite version. I actually prefer the Commodore 64 version to the Amiga version simply because it has paddle control. And Arkanoid is so much nicer to play with paddles. The Commodore 64 version is the definitive version of Arkanoid because, well, it looks good and it sounds good, but it also has the paddles. And the Amiga version is arcade perfect, but it plays with the fucking mouse, and the mouse is just not a good control for Arkanoid. Here we have the Super Nintendo version, and I've never done a Super Nintendo review this past year. And it's here, I have it, and I haven't done a single review of it yet, and so I'm going to do it. This is my favorite version of Arkanoid. Arkanoid. Doh! Arkanoid. Doh It Again! And yeah, I thought about doing the Amiga version, but this is my favorite version overall of any of them. I played Arkanoid for the Amiga. I played Arkanoid, the second one, Revenge of Doh, for DOS. I remember playing that as a kid in school. I remember playing that one. But yes, this is my favorite Arkanoid version, and it's because it controls so nicely. They finally got it right. It's very hard. They never got the control right with the mouse or joysticks in the other versions, but for the Super Nintendo gamepad they got it right. And yeah, so let's take a look at Arkanoid Doh It Again 1 year anniversary. Thank you everybody for sticking around. The only person that's actually been here since the beginning is the Shadow's Nose, so thank you. Hope you're still watching and enjoy it. Everybody else, I hope you'll be with me in the coming future. Come with me, guys. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up view of it, and you're gonna see me whenever I do a boss battle. Arkanoid. Doh It Again! Super Nintendo. Thanks for being here for a year. So this is a 1997 release. A very, very late game for the Super Nintendo or any of the 16-bit library. I do remember back in the day getting things for my Sega Genesis up until like 1998 is when I remember that stuff. I think Sega discontinued the Genesis in 1996 to focus on their ill-advised systems at the time, but there were still games being made by third-party developers up until like 1998. I remember buying stuff for it, but it's very, very late in the life span of these 16-bit stuff, and it's not trying to do too much. It's just Arkanoid, and apparently it's developed as the quote-unquote sequel of the original Arkanoid, even though there was, Arkanoid Doh It Again. I thought that was the sequel to Arkanoid, but I don't know. Very limited Wikipedia research. You trust what you will in that shit. I don't really care, honestly, to look it up any more than that. So I'm sure Wikipedia has it wrong, but it's Arkanoid. It's got new power-ups like this little teleporter thing. Never seen that in the other Arknoids as far as I remember. I don't have that much experience with Doh It Again, as in I haven't played it in a long time. So maybe it's on Doh It Again, I don't know. But you got your traditional fare, and this game is... The reason I like it so much is, it's built for the Super Nintendo user in mind, which is a kid. And the thing does not speed up as fast as it used to in the Amiga version or the arcade version or anything else. It speeds up a little bit eventually, but it will never go super light speed. The Amiga version, the arcade version, they all get to the point where it's light speed and there's just no possibility of you being able to finish the level. And a lot of the time you'll have almost the entire playfield done. It's just one or two tiles left that you gotta hit. But it's going so fast and it's never going where you want it to go. You're just doomed. And it's really a pain in the ass when you've gone that far in a level just to get shit on like that. And that's the nature of an arcade game. You have to put in the quarters. That's what they want. They want it to go faster, so you'll put in the quarters, but they never took that in mind when they were making the home conversions, that the person just paid $30 for the goddamn game. Maybe we should make it a little bit different than Arcade Perfect, maybe? Maybe it should be a little bit slower because we don't need the quarters. We got $40 from them. But they didn't do that for the original games. But they did that for the Super Nintendo version. It just plays at a nice speed, even the fast version. You're more than capable of doing it. Now this is a new mechanic for this game, is these little bubbly things that come out, and if the ball happens to go in them, they disappear, and it becomes a very annoying part of the game. Sometimes it can help you, but most of the time it really pisses you off because it never puts it where you want it. We're coming up to the first boss battle. Here it is. First of 3 boss battles. And of course they get progressively harder. This is the easiest one. Got a little worm up there, he goes around and around. The ball goes and it hits him. He shoots at your ass a couple times. Just throw the ball up there. Hope it yanks him on the freaking balls a couple times. Pretty much all you gotta do. Avoid the fire. It's easy. This one's easy. Oh. Because that means he's about to die, I believe. You got it. You're dead. So as previously mentioned in the intro, Arkanoid is very important to me because it was the first video I released on YouTube in a comical form. But it's more important to me than that because it was the first it was probably the first game I was allowed to play on the Amiga that was a real game. That my dad didn't have any issues with me playing because he couldn't always, he didn't want you to play certain games because he didn't want you to fuck around with them and destroy it or something accidentally. Because I kind of did destroy the Commodore 64 accidentally as a kid. And by and large, the Amiga games were on a much bigger level than, say, the Nintendo, which I also had. Most of these games on the Amiga were so much bigger than fucking Mario. So you couldn't wrap yourself around them as a kid, even if you did want to play them, and even if my dad would let me play them, you just couldn't wrap your head around them really. But Arkanoid was one that he let me play, he let my sister play it, and I just remember her playing it, and I got to play it too, and it's just a blast to play. I should save a lot of those memories for when I actually do review the original, Amiga game that I played as a kid. But for the Super Nintendo version, the backgrounds are very nice. They do some color palette changes, like you see, like there's some ships in the background there. You're like on a bridge, but you see some ships too, and they'll do a color swap of that, and they'll make it red and stuff. So, right there, that's a color swap. Right there, it's the same exact screen we had in the last one, but it's just a little different. And sometimes they'll have like shooting sequences going on in the background. The backgrounds are really cool in the Super Nintendo version. Sounds are really nice in this version. The power-ups, they're all cool. You get that. You get that. That one that makes it a little bit bigger, that makes the spaceship just a little bit bigger. That was in the original, but in this one, it makes it. If you get it a second time, it makes it double the size. So you're almost like, a third of the screen. It's a lot easier overall. And I think it's still hard, but everybody will have fun playing this version. Now we're coming up to the next boss battle, which of the three is, in my opinion, the absolute worst. Boss number 2, guys. This guy can be more of a pain in the ass. Gets off a bunch of his friends here and they all shoot at you. You kind of gotta try to get at least one side of them out before they shoot. Otherwise, you're pretty much screwed. Gotta keep one side of this thing clear. Which I did not do. Oh shit. Oh god. So you're pretty much fucked. You got them all there shooting down at you. That's like 75% of the screen that you're guaranteed to lose on. So you might face some game overs on this screen. I don't know. Not the son of a bitch. Alright, yeah, fuck you, guy. Come on, come on, come on. Oh crap. Nope. Ooh, close one. Got him, though. I hate you. You are one ugly dough. See, there's no chance I could get it. This takes out any luck, any skill, and it's just, where does the ball happen to go? God damn it. Not fair. It's not fair. Keeps releasing them all over again. That's not, God. If I get them all, shouldn't I? It should only be delegated to like two hits. You get 2 of them gone, and you can only put it back 2 or something. Not all 4 of them. Shoot. This one level. Barely died at all. I think I died once during this entire time. This one level means the end. Get up, get up, get up. We're screwed. We're screwed. We're so screwed. If you happen to get that ball, hit him there, and then you're never gonna get it. Got 2 of them. Yes, now he's to the second stage, which makes him bigger and bigger the more you hit him. He's gonna aim directly at you each time now. Ooh. But you have unlimited continues. That's a thing, huh? Really? They all happen to come in my direction that time? What the fuck? I killed all of them on that side. I killed all on that side. And that guy comes on this side. It's gonna help me. This is the worst boss battle in this entire game. There's 3 boss battles. The second one's the worst. Why didn't you save this for the end? Fucking cunts. Sorry. It is. Oh, it absolutely is exactly what I said. These boss battles are very fun, and you know that it's a unique perspective on the Arkanoid thing. And it did have a boss in the original Arkanoid, but I think it was just the one, and it was at the very end of the game. But it's a welcome change in pace, but at the same time, this is about there is some skill involved in the Arkanoid as you are seeing it right now, where you choose to angle the spaceship, where it will affect where the ball goes. There's there's a lot of program stuff in there, but there's a lot of random stuff as well. But it is about skill, and if you suck at the game, you're not going to get this far. If you're good at the game, you can always get this far, but if you're good at the game, you're still going to get fucked over by these Super Nintendo bosses, which are just so much about luck rather than skill. When 75% of the playfield is bombarded with ammo, and you can't get through it, that's not about skill, that's all about luck. So I'm not a huge fan of the Super Nintendo bosses. They're ridiculous. But here's another one. The last and third one, which isn't as bad as the last one. Final boss, guys. That was quick. He's not as hard as the second boss, I swear. Because we gotta try to get out of the way of that little guy's fists. Try to just... And then he does a little mode 7 there. Tries to throw you off. Controls are reversed. Left goes right, right goes left. Try to get. While you're up here, he won't hit you though, but he'll swing it around, and then got one of his arms out, which is nice. Oh, I forgot about that. And I'll come this way too, though. Got one of his arms. Got a second arm, second phase, and he's just alone right there, so, but he'll shoot you. Try to stay out of his way. Oh. Alright, you're dead. I'm gonna get you, you son of a bitch. How am I gonna get you? Gotcha! I won, man. We're presented with the first fake ending. Pretty cool, though. I thought this was the final ending at first because it's a nice ending, kind of. Our little spaceship is returning to the mothership. Nice looking ship. We're in. Warp speed ahead. Mr. Scotty. Mr. Scott. As these stars fly by. Date. The 14th star dawn. 136.8 pulsar time. Entry. The mission has ended in tragedy. Our dream world was a hoax, created by the vengeful mind of Doh. Yet we must not give up. Our quest will not continue. Our quest will continue. Someday we will find the peace which we seek. End log entry. And I thought that was the end of the game. Like, yeah, it was a downer, but I figured that was a cliffhanger. It's not a cliffhanger. It's part 1. Son of a bitch. And you are immediately presented with round 34, and the background looks the same. These are actually all different, but at first, I didn't know that. I didn't know these stages were different at first. They all look the same. I didn't play this one enough. Like the Amiga version, I would know if, you know, they changed the stages, because I played it so much, but I never really played this one that much. I liked it, but no, this is not the end. You have to beat this game 3 times for a total of 99 rounds. The bosses are always the same. These levels are different. They are slightly different, which is good. You get different levels, but the bosses will remain the same, so it's just a matter of continuing on, and we shall continue on until we win this game. We gotta beat it 2 more times. So come with me. 99 rounds. You're pulling a Ghosts and Goblins on me. Ghosts and Goblins tells you, keep going, keep going. This one doesn't really tell you to keep going. You just, apparently you just have to want to keep going. Ooh, Space Invaders. This is a hard one. Look at all those metal pieces. I gotta hit them all twice. Let me give you a look at some of these bosses here, just to show you that, you know, basically, they're the same boss, but they're going a little faster, they take a little more hits, they're a little harder. This first one is still not too bad in this one. And we will get his ass eventually here. And there he goes. We go on to the next boss, which is, of course, the hardest boss, and this one going a little faster, taking a little more hits. You're not going to have a good time. No. Try and keep using those continues, and you will succeed. Now, the levels themselves, you remember in my first video, which was all about the DOS version and just how I found that funny glitch. Well, here's that funny glitch in the Super Nintendo version, which I never ever come across this in the Amiga version or anything. There it is. Jesus Christ. Bad programming. Bad. Infinite loop. It just keeps going. Like, this was like 5 minutes just sitting there, not moving. You gotta program a little bit of randomness in that ball to prevent things like this from happening. Hopefully not when it's coming down. Never on the downward trajectory, because you'd never want the ball to randomly move while it's coming towards the player. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. It's supposed to have some way to freaking alter the ball. But if it's going upward, you know, program some randomness in there. God. Finally. 10 minutes fucking longer! Arkanoid. The final boss battle for this stage, of course, as you would expect, hard. He does this little Mode 7 thing. I never particularly enjoyed Mode 7 in Super Nintendo games. I just thought it was so overused of a concept, and it doesn't look very good either. It's like the last thing I want to see is zoomed in pixels of 1991 technology. So it doesn't look good. It has aged terribly. I never liked it back then. I thought it looked stupid. But Super Nintendo loved that Mode 7 shit. But we shall persevere eventually and get to the second ending to the game, which this is the first time I've seen it, because I never knew to continue past the first ending. Starts out very similar to the last one, making you think, oh, well, maybe this is just the same thing over and over again. We come down to the mothership. Date: the 19th start on 1:36.8. Pulsar time. Entry: the mission has ended in tragedy. Again, same thing. Our dream world was a hoax.
created by the vengeful mind of Doh. Yet we must not give up. Our quest will continue. It's the same ending, really, so, like, why would you think to continue? Like, there really is there's no one pointing you. The same exact ending? Why would I want to continue? It's giving you every reason not to continue, really. And it's like, how am I supposed to know to continue with this, that there's a happy ending somewhere along the line? How would I know that unless I want to play the game for 5 hours? You just wouldn't know that. And then, to top it all off, it gives you end credits! End credits! So by now, like, this end credit thing's gonna last 5 minutes. By now you've turned off your Super Nintendo. It's done! It's done, it's over. Or is it? No. It's fucking not. We gotta go to round 99 to get the true ending. And yes, we will do that. Let's go! More boss battles!
Yeah, final first level boss. See if he's actually got a challenge this time. That sucked. First time I died on that boss. Great, he's gonna get me, he's gonna get me. Hit him good, hit him good. Ooh, it's a heart. I love you, YouTube. So much more unfair it can get. Yes, second round, second round. Yes, we can do this. Yeah, yes, first time this time. Round 99, final battle. Let's do this. Ooh, yeah. Your trickery again. Fool me, bitch. Hopefully it isn't going to be any harder this time.
Yeah, it sucks. I think I went through many continues here, but thank God for the continues. It's not cheating. It's perfectly fine to do these arcade-style games and use all your continues. Use them up until you win this bitch. And it's still a difficult game, no matter how you look at it. You do not have to finish this game in one go for you to be good. No, I am good. Good luck getting this far, assholes. It's a hard one. But it's perfectly challenged. Like, I think the kids will probably get through the first end sequence, maybe, hopefully. And then, you know, if you want to continue, you know, you gotta be better. The 13th start on 173.999 pulsar time, 113. Entry. The journey is at an end. We have found our long-sought home. We will never repeat the mistakes of the past. I don't know. What did you guys do before? Humanity and environment will coexist together. Uh-oh. We got a message here. I think they're trying to say something, guys. Stop fucking with the environment, I think is what they're trying to say. Doh is gone forever, banished into oblivion. I now end my final entry. Was there ever an Arknoid game made after this? I don't know. I don't think so. Not a real one, anyway. And you are again greeted with the credits, but this time it was a happy ending. Happy ending. We finished. And it was nice. It was good. It's worth it to go to the end. It's worth it to go to the 99 levels. It's fun. See if you guys can do it. Go for the challenge. It's fun. It's a fun game the entire way. First video on YouTube was of Arkanoid on DOS, and then I showed off the Amiga. Congratulations, playtime 3 hours, 48 minutes, 15 seconds, I think, something like that. Wow, it actually keeps track of the time somehow. Very nice. I did play it all in one go. I did use a lot of continues, but I played it all in one go. That's cool that they keep track of it like that. 3 hours, 48 minutes. Can you beat my time? Very fun, though. Yeah. Done. Eject. Unnecessary on the Super Nintendo, but it's there. Eject.
It's a weird looking face, I gotta say. If I saw somebody with a face like that, I don't think I could do anything else but punch him, honestly. Nothing else I could do. Punch him right in the nose.